See, here's the amount of stuffing I've pulled out. I've got it stitched 3/4 of the way around. Let's see if that looks like enough. Yes, I think that's about right. I think I'm going to get a pin here and get it stuffed in there. Even if you are concerned that you don't think it looks stuffed quite right, even after you get it finished sewn down, you can kind of adjust it a bit. You can, manipulate it and move it. But I have found that once I get it in there and I get it stitched down, I'm pretty much usually satisfied that way. Okay, I will come back when I get this finished and we start the next piece. Okay, we have finished this step, embroider sequin stuff and applique the toy bag 50 to the stocking, so I can mark that off. The next direction is kind of a long one. When I get in long ones like this, I like to do them step by step. So embroider and sequin the top of the toy bag number 51. Let's see what that is. I think it's right here, number 51. And so let's see what it looks like. It's got some embroidery here, here, and here, kind of like a flower. And it looks like that embroidery is the same, so it's going to be the dark brown outline stitch, just like it was down underneath there. So it's going to get that, and it's going to get a few sequins. And so let's come back once we've got that done. Oh, I got a tail in the face. Once we've got that done, and then we'll check that off, and then we will move on to the next step in that process. Like I said, I like to work on just small bits of large instructions. So I'll get this cut out, embroidered, and sequined, and I will be back. Okay, here is the piece that has been embroidered. Sequin. That's this first part. Then it says, attach the top bag, the bottom piece along the edge where they touch, leaving the top edge unattached. So that means here is the space for 51 right there. So we are going to sit just like that, and we are going to stitch it down just on that side, leaving this spot open. I understand, right? Leaving the top edge unattached. Yep. Okay, so that's the next piece. I'm going to have a little problem with that because I can see the black, but let's see what we end up with, how tightly is maybe that black show, or maybe I just have to go scratch. So I'm going to stitch from here to, okay. I stitched one stitch up here and all the way around, and then one stitch right under the sequin. That means that it really doesn't pull away enough that I don't think see line. So let's see what else is attached. Top of the bag to the bottom. Attached. Okay, so we've done that. Use 3 strands of yellow floss at 6 inches long to make a 3-inch piece of cording. Okay, we're going to make a 3-inch piece of cording. So we're going to start 6 inches of floss, penny stock. Okay, cording can be a bit tricky, so let's do that together. Okay. You always want to use cording that is full piece of floss, so it's got all 6 strands. And then I'm going to pull over this ruler, and I'm going to measure 6 inches. Let's see. Right here. And I always give it just a little bit of slack, because we are going to put some knots in the ends, and I can always trim away if it's a bit too much. So I like to go about 6¼ Okay. There is my 6-inch piece of floss. Now the next step is going to be to tape that. Try to help you see. I'm going to tape that floss to the edge. Make sure that I get it down nice and tight. Now, make sure that you have a pen or pencil that has the pocket clip on it. You're going to do that. Now, I'm going to floss out tight, and I'm going to just twist it. If I dampen it, that looks like there. That time, flip it on about in the center of my piece there, and then bring and together and let the pen or the pencil happen to spin off. Take off the table, and I have this piece. It says it's supposed to be 3 inches long. Let's see how good we did. Yep, it is 3 long without it. So I would recommend, it said 6, we should have gone 6½ probably. So now let's see what it tells us to do. So wrap the cording around the top piece of the toy bag and knot in front, not the ends of the cording, and trim away the excess. Look at the picture for a little bit more of a description here. Oh, they just want us, to just kind of knot it there. Let's see. I am going to put knot, and this is okay. And
you want to place one knot in the very end of your cording, and then you're going to take the end that is a loop and put that through your large eye needle. That needle does need to be a fairly sharp needle as opposed to a darning needle. It's not easy to thread, but you will if you just work at it. I'm pretty sure you'll get it. Then I trimmed off the end, some of the end of the knot. Now we just need to get it into that needle so that we can pierce it through where it needs to be on the stocking. Okay, now that you've got it threaded, now this will not be easy, but you need to just work it in right there at the base of the neck of the bag. It is going through several layers of felt, and it is more challenging to get that large eye through. Pull it through, not super tight though, because you're going to need to adjust it. Now go back down next to the other side of the edge of the neck of the bag. And again, pull that through. You can see it's not easy. And leave it fairly loose there. Now you're going to come back up with the needle right in about the center of the piece that you added to the neck of the bag. See my needle come through there? And now you're going to bring that piece of cording over the top of that needle so that it actually helps to hold that cording right around the edge of that piece, and then bring it through. And then you're going to, I used the end of that large needle to help me make a knot here. Make a knot in the end of this. It's not easy. Would have been easier maybe if I'd left it threaded, but I didn't. So I just work at it and get it through. There it goes, I think. Got it. Now I'm just going to tuck it inside the loop that we made to make a knot. And then pull it taut again, not super tight. You don't want it to pucker anything, but pull it out there so that it can be taut. There it is. And the rope and its little tail there is right around the edge of the bag where it should be. I do think that I will opt to tack down the end of that rope just so it's not sticking up kind of crazy like. So I'll just use a piece of yellow thread and just tack that down, and then it will be perfect. All right, now we need to add the piece, the next piece of the sleigh. We did finish that whole bag, so you can check that big piece, that big section off. And this piece right there on the sleigh is going to be a dark green, and it's going to get dark green sequins. It's just a cutout and a sequin and an applique. It's not this light green. Nope. It's going to be the dark green. And I double check on the directions. It's this small piece right here. And I did double check the directions that dark green gets dark sequins, light green gets light sequins, and then it just simply gets appliqued down to the stocking. All right, you can see that I've cut out the piece, sequined it, and I've stitched it about 3/4 of the way around. There's just one side left open to be able to insert that little wisp of stuffing. It is so narrow and small, it doesn't need much, but you might feel this couldn't possibly be enough, but it is, trust me. And you get it in there, and then I always like to kind of adjust it with a pin. It helps me to get it really into the corners and evened out exactly how I want it to be. And you know what, truthfully, don't be too picky about it. It really always ends up looking great. Now you can just pick up your needle and continue stitching it the rest of the way around with your applique stitch, and and then knot it off, and we're ready to move on to the next piece. It looks like the next piece is our cute little elf's ear right there. It's just a small piece, but it does have some embroidery on it. And if you open it up and see your guide, it says it's 2 strands of the outline stitch with a peach colored. So that's what you're going to do on his little ear. You're going to just cut it out, do the 2 strands outline stitch of peach colored on his little ear, and then it'll be time to stitch it down. His little ear is appliqued on right where it's indicated, and I just wanted to let you see that I appliqued it not all the way around because we want to make it look like it's not, flat to his head. So I just wanted to let you see that. Then we're going to cut out the large piece of the sleigh. It just gets cut out and sequins, and then we're going to stitch it down kind of where all the sequins are going to go, leaving the top open, like where you would jump into it, because it will get some stuffing. So we'll let you take a look at that. We've got the sleigh. The main sleigh piece has been attached and it is stuffed. And so the next piece we have to do, we can cross that off, sequin and applique the sleigh trim 56 to the stocking. And you can see that it is going to be this piece right here, this dark green. And so it's going to get some sequins, and we are just going to stitch it down. So pretty simple process. I'll come back and show it to you once I get that done right there. Okay. There we go. You can see that the trim it only has sequins on one end, and on the other end nothing in the middle. I think there's going to be something going over the top there. So let's see what that next piece is going to be. Cross off that trim, sequin, stuff, and applique the front of sleeve 57 to the back 58. Stuff and applique the front of the hand 59 to the back 60.
Applique the hand to the front of the sleeve, attach the arm to the stocking along the shoulder edge only, leaving the rest of the arm unattached. Again, a long list, so let's take it one by one. So we're going to sequin the front of we're going to sequin piece number 57, and we're going to stuff and stitch it to the back 58. So let's see what those pieces are. It is going to be this arm for the elf. We're going to be working on the elf's arm. Okay, and that's going to come and be attached right here. Just right here by his cheek, but not touching here. So right here. We'll do the best we can and get that on there. And his hand kind of comes down, but not all the way to the trim. That's what it's, but whatever it ends up being for you is fine. So we're going to look for 57 and 58, which looks like it's going to be this blue. These two pieces right here, 57 and 58. And 57 is going to get blue sequins just right along here in these dots, and then it will be sewn to this the 58. And I think that what I will do is stitch it. I like stitching on the rounded part, so I'll stitch it probably from about where the hand is supposed to go, here in this little heart shape, and then that will leave all of this open where most of the sequins are, and I can stuff the arm in there and then stitch it closed. So let's do that. I'll come back and show you when I get this piece done, and I'll show you how I'm stitching it. Okay. Okay. Here is this little arm, the front, back. So I'm going to choose to stitch from about the middle of where his hand is applied. So about the middle of where his hand around to over here, and then we'll be able to tuck a little bit of stuff in. So go tuck our knot in. Stitch it. I'll just try to get right. Finish close it up. Now we can finish it closed up here. Not hold tight before it goes down in there, so I'm going to do another knot. Hopefully, get it around. Yeah, and then I can cut that off. Okay. And that's going to end up being right here. We just need to put his hand there. So I will come back when we get his hand, which, let me look at the picture quick. Yes, his hands are the flesh. So I've got a couple of pieces of his hands here. Got to find them in my very dwindling pile of pieces here now. Yep, here they are. We've got Santa's face left and his two hands. And his hands just simply get cut out and stitched together. And right on this line right here. Right there. This whole arm will be attached. Wonderful, wonderful. Let me catch you up on where we are. I have worked a lot off camera, and I'll explain more about that in a little short video that I do after I get this one done. But I have completed Santa, his face, his hat, his arm, and this arm. I'm not quite sure where we left off last time, but that's mostly what I've done is the sleigh and Santa's arm. Now I'm getting started on the blanket that's going to go right there, I think, just like that. It gets some fringe and all kinds of things there. But basically everything that I've done is stuff that we have done together already. So nothing new. Just stitching together, sequins, a little bit of outline stitch, some satin stitch here and here. And I will tell you that let's get in really close here if we can not lose our focus. When you've got satin stitch like this red right next to the black, pick one and do it first. It doesn't matter which one. I did the black first, but when you're doing the next one that's going right next to it, make sure, for instance, I did the black first, so I came up with the red on the outside and went down where I was right next to the other satin stitch. Always go down when you are going right next to another satin stitch. If you try to come up there, you're going to pull up and it'll disturb the stitches that you've already got done. So you want to make sure you can go down right next to stitches, but coming up does tend to pull them up and make them get a little bit messy. So here's where we are. I still don't know the name that's going to go on the top of this stocking. I may not know it even when I get done. So, because I have 2 stockings in this order, I may be doing the name on both of them at the same time. Hopefully I'll get that before they're both done. But this is where we're at. Again, nothing different or new. Everything is exactly the same in everything that we've done before. So you can see here we've got all the details pretty much of the sleigh. This last bit is this this blanket here, and what it calls for is a straight stitch of 2 strands of white, and that's what I'm working on here. It can get a little bit challenging here because this does go over the edge. Gotta get some glasses on, so let me work on it a bit so you can just see it. I'm doing it as just a solid stitch. So this one I'm going to go all the way around, and let's see, I want to come back up where I think I'm going to come back up right next to it because I want to be able to fasten it down right there. Kind of like we do whenever we get on the edge, you want to kind of give it a fasten down. So I'm going to do the same thing right here on this one. And these I'm trying sorry, I'm not even in your camera space, so here we go. Okay, so I'm trying to make my intersection here for all the stitches all in the same spot. And so I'm going to go across and go to all the way around like we do at the edge stitches, and then tack that down right beside it. And then I'm going to come back up, I think right here. I'm just kind of going all over the place wherever it seems to fit for my floss and the length of thread that I have. I don't have a lot of thread left on this needle, so I'm just kind of picking and choosing. This line right here in the center, that is going to be a black single strand outline stitch. Kind of getting all of these edge ones done right now because that's kind of where I am, and it's nice to have those done. They're kind of a pain. I think I'll do this last one right here, and that'll probably be about all that I can get in this particular strand of floss. And I have to say that I love this dark blue. It is so pretty. It looks like the night sky with all the stars and the snowflakes and stuff. I think it's just beautiful. But Finnegan here also likes it, and he loves to leave his hair all over it. So be sure to know that before this ever gets sent out, it will get a good going over with some tape, and make sure that I get all those hairs removed for whoever it is that is going to be receiving it. Okay, so I think I've done about all the damage I can do with this thread, so I'm going to knot it off and start another one to finish these white. And these are just straight stitches on this blanket or shawl. I don't know what they call it here. Okay, so that's how far I've gotten. I will finish those white stitches. I will also finish the black single strand outline, and then we'll come back for what we've got going on here. I think these are 2 pieces that we add and then put the fringe, but I'll make sure that I show you exactly what to do for fringing, because that can be a little bit confusing based on the directions in the pattern. So here we are, back at work.